Welcome to this gigasode of Across the Bifrost.
Whoa!
This is your host, Dr. Norbert, coming to you from underneath a big pile of print-on-demand cards.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie. I'm coming to you from... I just got out of Cerebro. I was in Cerebro. I put the helmet on, and I whipped it off, and I ran straight here, because all I saw in the big interface, the big holographic interface, was just +1s everywhere. +1, +1, +1, +1, +1. Mutants everywhere. Rejoice, as we've all got more health.
Did you get some health while you're out there? Did they
I got some health. I'm +1 right now. I'm feeling real good.
Same for me. Yep, as alluded to, this is going to be a gigasode, not even a megasode. We're going to the gigasode. And you Giga Chad over there, what's your name?
We've booked time off work for this and everything. We've got the day off. We've got our producer has moved houses to come and edit this stuff on time. So a lot of appreciation into the Discord, please, because we've worked really hard to make sure that all these episodes come out as soon as physically possible. So yeah, we're very excited to be looking at all the new stuff.
We still don't know who you are.
I said my name at the start, Norbert. You weren't listening.
Did you? Yeah. I'm my head's spinning from all these updates.
You are absolutely dazed. Norbert called me at midnight crying last night because he didn't know what was going on. Yeah. I was like, listen, Norbert, get off Discord, go have a nap, and we'll sort it out in the morning.
It's 100% how it happened. It's true. Thank you to all our Patreons. Because of you, your support and enthusiasm for our work, we are making these extra efforts, all three of us. We're making the extra efforts to get this out to you as soon as possible. So a couple of caveats before we get into this. One is we know from AMG directly that there are a number of errors across the various documents. So there are a few things that have been pointed out to us that are not in the documents that will be fixed. There's some that perhaps will still be caught. We're not sure. But they did say that this process of fixing these sort of typo errors does not have to go through an extended review process, and it should be done within a week, possibly 2 weeks from today being the 11th of August. So keep that in mind. We will mention the few ones that we do know of right now, but there may be other changes that come along. And with the magnitude that you're going to see of this document, I'm not terribly surprised by this. It is disappointing, of course, but we're going to trust AMG to fix it up very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. My take on this is, so I also work in games, as you know. And I know the difficulty of file management. When you're making huge changes like this to a game, it's extremely easy to get things wrong. I get the builds wrong all the time. I'm working with digital stuff, and I don't work with Marvel, and I get things wrong all the time. I'm constantly, me and my team are releasing the wrong builds at the wrong time, and all this stuff. It's such an easy mistake to make. That is obviously frustrating because we've been waiting so long for this, but there are so many moving parts that we don't really know about. They have to go through Marvel. They have to, that's the mouse. The mouse is, going to want to read all those documents and approve stuff. And then they have to sync up with whoever writes the blogs, which might not be someone in-house, right? It might be an external marketing and website management. We don't know. We don't know any of these details. But basically what I'm getting at is, it's not the easiest thing. And this is such an enormous errata. I'm not surprised there's some mistakes in here. And I woke up thinking, we'll go through all those mistakes and figure it all out. But now I've seen a list of them. It's just a couple things that, seem pretty straightforward to get your head around,
Yeah. Yeah, there are just a few handfuls so far that are known. I'm a little more concerned about small errors in hit point changes or this and that, because those are more easily overlooked perhaps. But we don't know. So anyway, just bear that in mind. Don't dwell on it. There's plenty of other things to worry about. But maybe don't print all the cards out if you're going to pay somebody to do that just yet.
Yeah. Hold off for a second.
Yeah. Okay. So the way we're going to break down these episodes are going to be in different chunks. First of all, which is going to be up to our producer to figure out. But just be aware there'll be different individual episodes covering the overall topic. Secondly, we are going to go through some smaller things up front. So we're going to talk about the rulebook changes and the team tactics cards changes, just to get those out of the way. We're going to then review all the characters that have had more substantial changes made to them. And then lastly, we're going to do an overview of all the hit point changes. So we want to caveat that straight away that those will be mentioned. We'll make some points about perhaps what that hit point adjustment means. But clearly, the nuance of those are going to be much harder to understand at a surface level, and will take some time to absorb. And because of the volume of them, we can't really dwell on them as much as we would normally do. So be aware that those will be a little bit of a superficial comments of it, of that section. Mm-hmm. Is that good?
I feel like you're explaining this to me, and I follow so far.
Okay, lovely. Right, let us get into it then. Rulebook changes. So there weren't any that were highlighted in blue like they usually do, but I've for the one thing that AI is actually good at is
I thought you should have taken the credit for it. You litigiously spent all night going through 2 documents.
No, because I wouldn't trust myself to do that. I did ask AI to compare the 2 documents and tell me what were the changes, which was amazing because it actually did a fantastic job. And this is probably one of the things that AI is actually really quite good at instead of horrible memes, making pictures and stuff like that. So good news is it's a pretty long list of stuff, actually, but all of them have been clarifications. As far as I can tell, it listed to me what the old language was, it listed what the new one was, and says these are just making things more explicit or making things more clearer, but no substantial changes to the game except for the ones that we're going to talk about next. Is that cool? So
yes, I agree.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to follow while also grabbing files in the background. I'm here.
Okay, right on. So the biggest ones actually come out to be how to deal with terrain on the table, which is...
This is my most favorite rule of the whole update.
Yeah.
Is that too much hype?
It's really interesting. So I'm going to read this one out. So in the previous version, it said terrain should not be placed within range 2 of any battlefield edge or another terrain feature, something that we're all very familiar with. In this version, the new version of the rulebook, that restriction's removed. And now it says terrain placement is only that players should include a minimum of 12 terrain features, and both players should agree on the specific distribution. That's it.
Hell yeah. So basically, you just get to the table and go, does this table look cool? You happy with that? And like, I'm just going to shift that lamppost because it's a bit annoying. Yep, cool, all good. That's it.
The volume is the only thing that matters. They want at least 12 pieces on the table. And I can't remember what we've been doing. It feels like a little bit more than that, but that's okay.
We always
as well.
go over. Yeah, you and I always go a bit over with our tables because we like it. Yeah.
But it doesn't say anything about sizes. And importantly, it doesn't mean that you can't have 2 pieces of terrain next to each other, like directly touching any longer.
You can't? You said?
No, sorry, you can. You can
now do that. I was going to say, yeah. Yeah, you can now do that. There are 2, in this big update, there are, from Core Box 1, the very first box that ever released, Marvel Crisis Protocol, there are 2 things in there that were completely ruining the game for me, and this is one of them. The other one is Baron Zemo, which we'll get to. So they've been fixed, because now you can get the Daily Bugle, and a little dumpster can be next to it, which is what everybody always wanted since day one, right? I know that Curtis from Cable's Conquest hates that. You can't do that, you know? We want, like, parked cars to be, like, parked next to lampposts and stuff. So now you can do that. I guess because the terrain rules have calmed down, right? I think that's why. The collision rules.
Yeah, so how do you feel? Yeah, but I always, like, the perceived wisdom about the range, too, was that so that 65 millimeter bases could always fit between 2 pieces of terrain and get around the board. Do you think that doesn't matter anymore, or
I mean, I've played a lot of Valkyrie and Elendil this weekend. I've done my 50 games with Sentinels in the past, and I never really had a problem with it. I think it's fine. I think the measurements in MCP are not that exact. You can pretty much get to most places, you know. And if you see like an area of the map where there's loads of terrain, you know, perfectly inside of range 2 at the start of the game, you just discuss with your opponent, can we just shift those around a bit? I've got large bases. I would like to move around a little bit. I think that's fine, you know? So I think it's fine. I in my experience, it's not been a problem, and, you know, I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, I agree. They're not so dense that you can't get around, but it is a bit of a restriction. On the other hand, you know, you get a lot of benefits for having a 65 millimeter base as well.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
maybe that's just
more benefits than setbacks for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe it's okay. They talk a little bit about overhanging terrain. Now, this is a new aspect of terrain that they want to clarify. It said added in this version of the rulebook, parts of terrain features can be designated as overhangs. Objects cannot be put on top of overhangs, but can be put underneath them. And AI says this is a new battlefield construction rule that affects objective placement and movement.
Shut up, AI. That's not how you explain it. This is how you explain it. This is AMG trying to get away with their stupid terrain rules. So their terrain rules are perfect, by the way. AMG terrain rules are great. Everything's a 2D plane, right? And that just makes sense. Everything's a 2D like shadow that you can stand on, you can't. And then they just keep releasing terrain packs that ignore that rule. Because like the Sanctum has got overhangs, Weapon X, the thingy has got overhangs. Like, yeah, I am joking. I'm being facetious. But like, yes, basically all the cool terrain that we like to see on the board has overhangs, and it's like, you know, you could actually someone, you know, when they throw you into the Daily Bugle, technically, according to the rules, you should hit the little overhang that's coming out from the kiosk. not hit the building.
Right.
But now you can designate that as an overhang, which basically would say like that's, on that terrain, that overhang doesn't count as part of the silhouette of the terrain.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I would have counted it in the past, because it's...
People, that's the problem, right? People did different things. Like some people would count it, some people wouldn't.
So if you have, like for instance, on the taco truck that they make, it's got that little window for, where you get your flap coming up.
Yeah.
So that doesn't count anymore. You should ignore that.
It's not. So the rule isn't that's how that works. The rule is that you can designate things as overlaps. So you need to discuss with your opponent at the start.
Okay.
Which happens a lot. You've got a giant like sentinel sat on a bridge, right? And like the Quinjet. Oh, the Quinjet. We can talk about the Quinjet as well. Like you would have to discuss at the start, like, okay, is this overhang part of the terrain? So can models stand underneath it? Or is it the terrain? And then you decide with your opponent, and then that's the rule for the game, for that one game.
Yeah, got it. Okay, cool. And what about objective tokens? They need to only be on top of terrain?
Well, they can't be... Oh, I don't know. Did it say something about overhanging them? Because they can overhang terrain.
Yeah, but hang on.
I think you're looking at the AI summary.
Yeah, this is a quote. It says, parts of objects cannot be put on top of overhangs, but can be put underneath them.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so yeah, right now, imagine a Daily Bugle box, right?
Yeah,
like a shop. The extract token can overhang. It can be half on and half off, but not if it's on an overhang. So it can't go over the flap, basically. It has to be as like, it's basically, this is a rule that I think we're spending too much time on because it won't come up. Because 99 times out of 100, people just go, this is overhang on terrain. Can I just shift that terrain by a centimetre and put the extract on the floor?
Yes,
and your opponent goes,
I do the same thing.
Yeah. So
I like putting objectives on terrain, but I will shift the terrain if it's nearly entirely on the terrain and just to make it easier to stay on there.
I've just stopped asking. I just do it because it only affects anything. It just means that the extract is in a nice place. So, What I do want to stress here, though, is this doesn't say that overhangs are now a rule. You still have to discuss them with your opponent. Yeah. So I don't want to see people like throwing someone into a terrain and then you have a disagreement about, like, oh, but that's an overhang. Yeah, but in the rule book it says overhang. No. The rule book doesn't say that overhangs now exist. It says that they can exist. You can discuss them with your opponent, and that should all happen before the start of the game. Because this stuff does matter, right?
Yes, it does.
Say I'm trying to throw you off a secure, and if I throw you into the building, you're off. But if I throw you into the overhang, you're not off. That's a game changing, right? So we should agree at the start of the game whether that overhang counts or not.
Okay, cool. Okay, we are going to now talk about the team tactics cards that changed. Only a handful of them. Some are interesting because I don't quite understand them. I'm hoping you can explain them to me. So two of them are similar. The one is let's just do the other one first. The first one is First of the Black Order. So this is the tactics cards that Corvus can get to become a leader of the Black Order. And now it says that it gives power to all allied characters, not just Black Order characters, allies. So the point is that before, when you would daze or KO somebody, all other characters, aside from the one that did the dazing or KOing, would get one power. And now it's saying that even the character that did the dazing or KOing also gets that one power.
No.
No?
Oh, hang on. So the change is from Black Order to not Black Order, right? Now it gives power to all allied characters, not just Black Order allies. Because I'm looking at Jarvis.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. All allies.
Yeah. So all allies gain power from this, whereas before it was only Black Order allies.
I see. Okay, I got it.
I think I'm looking at Jarvis, but I can't tell if Jarvis has been super quick and already updated it.
Yeah, I'm afraid that we can't use Jarvis any longer because that guy has been on top of it. So shout out to Jarvis as well.
Yeah, Drakan, yeah,
Drakan, yeah. He's
My
been really
God,
great.
yeah. So I don't know, but basically, this is a one part of a lot of little like tiny buffs to Black Order in this update, which we'll cover. But it just makes the leadership work a bit better and it's nice because the Black Order affiliated list isn't huge, so you are often splashing characters. And now they benefit from the Corvus leadership.
Yep. So, couple of points. Let's read it very clearly. When an allied Black Order character dazes or KOs a non-grunt enemy character, all allied characters gain one power. So the changes is that all allied characters, not just Black Order ones, get the power. Also, only Black Order allies could trigger the leadership, but that's the same as before. And lastly, it doesn't trigger on grunts any longer, which is kind of like a rule that AMG's put across all their cards for the most part.
Nice.
So,
well summarized.
So that is a buff, clearly. I mean, everybody is more easy to trigger in some senses.
Yeah, you're seeing this card more often now that Thanos in a previous errata got nerfed to about 600 feet underground. You're seeing Corvus. You're seeing Corvus being charged a lot more, and this is good. It's a good buff for them. Yeah, makes leadership a little bit more playable. I do know people that still play Black Order with Corvus in charge without the leadership, though. That is still a thing that happens. So I'm not sure this leadership is that great, but who knows?
Okay. So the next two are the ones that I was alluding to are similar to one another. It's Mothership and Asteroid M. These are the kind of teleport cards that Black Order and Brotherhood had, respectively. Mm-hmm. So a couple of changes here is the first big one is the fact that it has to be played in the power phase now. Whereas before, you just had to be in the active, had to be an active character. Moving characters can, so the character used to not be able to have an objective if they wanted to actually pay the power to do this. But now they can be holding the objective, but they do drop it upon moving. Do you see the difference there?
Yes, which is nice, right? Because you're not locked out of this card. You can just opt to drop an extract, right, which is cool. That's that happens on a few things in this update. So I like that change.
Yep. So why do you think though moving this to the power phase was important for both of these cards?
It's huge. There's a massive impact on this card. And yeah, I can see why. Basically, there's a lot of like, let's get rid of round one shenanigans in this update, right?
Yep, sure.
No more, ganking, kidnapping, none of that stuff on round one. Round one now needs to be a lot calmer for people, which is good. And I'm the biggest fan of that because I hate people, dazing round one, KOing round two. And this is one of those changes because basically you could previously just move someone up, do something to gain a power, such as Juggernaut can move up. Nothing stops Juggernaut through some terrain, give himself some power, give someone else 2 power, and you can. One power, and you can use, they both spend 2 to teleport like a Thanos or a Corvus or a Magneto up the board round 1 to try and basically daze someone round 1. So now that it's during the power phase, that can't be done round 1. So it has to be later on. And it being in the power phase is kind of cute too, because if you don't have prio, it's a bit of a risk, right? I don't have priority, but I have to play it now. So I'm going to teleport Magneto in now. You can react. Although those two teams, Brotherhood and Black Order, are basically always going to have prio because they play super narrow for the most part. Sorry,
okay, yeah.
Magneto-led Brotherhood.
Right.
So it does have a big impact on the Mystique Brotherhood as well, who Mystique Brotherhood isn't using it for like a big attrition swing. They're maybe using it to like move people out of danger or, switch flanks, rotate. And now that has to be done in the power phase. So if they don't have prio, your opponent can react. So the card's just like a lot fairer now, and less of a kind of surprise, but still a staple for both teams. I think you still take it every game with both affiliations.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think, you just have to be more deliberate about it than you had to in the past.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. The next one is really exciting, actually, for you in particular.
For me?
Yeah. This is the Team Tactics cards, which is the leadership for the Weapon X affiliation. It's called Are You Sure You Want to Remember? And it is so much better now. So before, you used to have to put tokens. So you would get memory tokens, which you could do stuff with. And before, you used to have to put them on the actual leader, which often was X-23. Sometimes it was Logan. Or Wolverine. But often it was X-23. And the problem was that the moment that character was dazed, or worse, KO'd, you couldn't use the tokens any longer. Because technically the card was part of the character and the character's dazed, so you're not allowed to do that sort of stuff. Now what's happened is that they're basically saying you put the tokens instead of on the leader, you put those tokens on the card itself. It's like outside of the characters themselves.
Yeah.
And this is important because of the reason I just said. So now you don't have to worry about your leader being dazed or KO'd to be able to continue doing this. Secondly is that you get 2 tokens. Where does it say that now? Hang on. What does it say about getting tokens? Oh, here it is at the top. You start with 3 memory tokens, and then when an allied non-grunt character is dazed or KO'd from an enemy effect, this card gains 2 memory tokens. It used to only be 1, and like I said, you can only have a maximum of 3. And then there was one other part of this. No, that's it. Okay. So those are the things. The rest of it stays the same, which is you can use the memory tokens to add 2 dice to your defense roll. Then after the attack is resolved, if the attack does not deal damage, the ally character may advance towards the attacker short.
Nice.
So
basically, in short, you get more tokens and you can spend them more often because if your leader's dazed, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, or KO'd. I don't think this card goes away, right? Does it say? Oh, they do play the card. Does that mean it goes away if they go away?
Good question. I don't know. I think it might stay. The character play this card gains the following leadership ability and is assigned this card.
Okay.
Yeah, so it would lose the leader. Yeah, so if they're KO, this goes away.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think? You played Weapon X for a time, but you thought the leadership wasn't great. In fact, you thought one of their side
Dossier is, in my heart, Dossier is their leadership because it's really cool, fun, thematic, and interesting. I played 50 games of Weapon X. I played this leadership about 4 times. I think it's terrible. I think it's gone from the worst leadership in the game by far to like not even worth playing to now it is the worst leadership in the game, but you could play it sometimes and I would forgive you.
Yeah.
I think it's still awful. Adding 2 defense dice is the worst form of defense in this game. And then if you take damage, even just 1 damage from the attack, you don't get the trigger. You don't get to move towards the character. So bad leadership. Don't worry about it. If you want to play Weapon X, you definitely should, by the way. Great affiliation, very fun, especially if you like those characters. Play Dossier every single game. You'll have a great time. Forget this leadership. Don't worry about it. It's just been tidied up and is nice and a bit more playable, but
it's a bit more playable, but I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Dossier exists, and that's okay. Sorry, just want more glazing for Dossier. Dossier is incredible. Pretend it's their leadership. It's great.
Yep, I agree. I like the Dossier. It's a lot of fun too. Okay, then 2 more cards. One is a card that's an unaffiliated card for the Modocs, George Tarleton. It is You Will Do As I Say, Monster. And this is where he could pay some power and throw an allied abomination within 2 of him, a medium. Okay, so you basically throw them. It used to cost 5 power, now it's down to 4 power.
Nice. This is interesting. Go on. Sorry, we can say.
No, I think it was always a good ability if you were happening to playing these 2 characters.
Yeah, it's interesting because when I first saw this change, down to 4 from 5, I kind of shrugged, like, all right, who cares? Then I thought about it. Why has this happened? It was because the collision changes have happened, right? So maybe in the past when you threw this, it was doing 5 damage. Now it's only doing 3. So that's the reason to discount it by 1. But it's still really expensive, right? To throw 3 damage at your opponent, but you're then throwing abomination medium on a large base medium. So you're just displacing, moving your own character around. So you're not just getting the damage of throwing him, you're, moving him a lot across the board. Very cool. So I like this change.
Also, the thematic part about it is Abomination doesn't ignore the hit point of damage he'll take.
Oh, yeah. Good catch. That's funny. Wait, does he get power for that? Because he has a fancy rule, doesn't he? Is it like Rhino?
Or possibly, but it might say enemy effect. This would be an allied effect.
You're right. Sad. But still, that is funny. Good catch. I like that.
Yeah. The other way you could think about doing this, not only throwing it into enemy that you're trying to attack, but he could be thrown into terrain to get rid of terrain that's annoying somehow.
Oh, yeah.
He's size 4, so he's going to wipe out size 3s and under.
That's fun. Yeah, that's cool.
Maybe.
He could also be thrown away. I know it's not very thematic, but if Abomination is nearly dead,
that's a
he's
really
nearly dead
good point.
and if he's holding an extract, you can just throw him away to the side of the board.
Yes, love it. Nice one.
Crisis Modoc, is that a thing? We're going to see that?
Well, that's Curtis, competitive Curtis. Okay, last one is Spirit of Wakanda. And so here, they basically got rid of it has 3 abilities, right? One was you'd play the card and everybody with if you were within 2 of the character that played the card, you could either remove 2 damage from yourself, or you can remove all special conditions from yourself. The other one was that you could get, is it 1 power or 2 power that you could get?
I think it might have been 2. You get a bunch of power. Yeah,
you got a power.
Yeah.
And that's been just completely removed from the card. And instead now, the characters within 2 of the character that played the card can place themselves within 1 of their current position. I guess this plays into what you said earlier about them trying to get rid of the early turn shenanigans.
Yeah, no more round 1 stuff. because it was like the whole Wong powers someone up for Spirit Wakanda, which powers everyone up, which gives King T'Challa the ability to bound round one, and everyone gets all their power, and M'Baku loves extra powers. Yeah, there's like lots of like awkward stuff, and I think it's not just Wakanda characters, right? So you were powering up people like Miles Morales and like Quicksilver and Ultimate Spider-Man to like do crazy stuff. So yeah, in the kind of wave of less round one shenanigans, this is a good change, I think.
Yeah, cool.
It makes it a mid-game card now, because like a place, a random place in mid-game could be a big deal. Healing is a huge deal. I've seen Spirit Wakanda played in like round 3 or 4 to great effect. So I think it's just pushing it towards that kind of play style now.
Yep, totally. So so that's a big thing to be aware of. And that brings us to the end of all the different Team Tactics cards that they've updated. All right. So
there is a change, a stealth change, but I'm not sure is in your notes.
Go on.
They've announced that Pretty Sneaky Sis is being rotated out.
Oh, that is something I didn't realize.
Yeah,
really?
So it's like a really weird X-Force card that doesn't really get played, but it's being rotated out on the day that the new Mutant box comes out. Uh-huh. So there's a box coming with Mirage, Havoc, Multiple Man, and someone else, Jubilee. And some of those characters are theoretically X-Force characters. I don't know if they've actually announced that yet, but there's the affiliation that's got updated as well, which we should probably look at some point because people have changed there. Do you have that in your notes?
I do. I can look at it. I have it.
Cool. Anyway, what I'm getting at is the Pretty Sneaky Sis has been rotated out on the date that box comes out. So that's just kind of interesting. There might be some X-Force characters in there. So I don't think we need to be too sad about it because some of those characters are likely X-Force and they come with tactics cards. So maybe something is in there.
Okay. So Pretty Sneaky Sis is where an X-Force character is a reactive one, where during the power phase, any number of allied X-Force characters may spend 2 power each to play the card. Enemy characters must be within 2 of the characters that spent power to target them with their attacks this round. So that's similar to like the Criminal Syndicate one.
Yeah, Shadow Organization. Which is why I think like it's not, I suspect it's not a balanced thing because like this card exists, right? In a different affiliation. And X-Force aren't exactly, terrors on the meta. So I think this might be an admin thing. Maybe we're going to get, it might even just be a different version of this card in that box, It just seems very weird that the only card that got banned was this one and on the date that the new box comes out. So, yeah, I don't know. Watch this space is what I'm getting at.
All right, brilliant. I really appreciate you telling me that. I did not know that. Okay, since you brought it up, we'll go through the affiliation document, which has also been updated. And the first one that I see...
I'm excited for this one.
Yeah. In Black Order... Now affiliated is Nebula.
Yes. I was so confused. When I first started playing MCP, everyone was playing Black Order, and I was like, this game's awesome. I get to fight Thanos, and they'd play Nebula, and I'd be like, why is she not in that team? It's because she wasn't affiliated, and I never really understood why. Yeah. So now she is. Very cool, very thematic. We've got Black Order Nebula here. Nebula is an insane 2-threat, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Up there, and one of the best.
Killing Machine, which is what Black Order is all about, and a 2-threat, which they didn't have before. All good stuff for Black Order, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Black Order just have a bunch of higher threat models. So having Nebula is a really big deal. I think that is the biggest buff to Black Order we've seen. And there's more buffs coming in part 2.
Okay, next up on the new stuff is New Mutants. So New Mutants have a current character affiliated with them now called Honey Badger.
Oh, I've done it, Norbert. I complained for years. I was on Danger Room talking about this. I've probably complained about it on here. I've finally, maybe they probably don't even listen to me. They probably just realized that she should be in there. But I've been moaning about this for so long. Honey Badger is affiliated to New Mutants. That is a huge deal. She's a 2-threat, which every affiliation needs, but she can play Survive the Night off of her. She's a bodyguard and she can trigger Survive the Night so someone can teleport in and punch the person. Yeah. It's a huge deal. It's so cool. So cool. This is great for New Mutants.
Awesome. They're also going to get a brand new character who's their leader, which will be Mirage.
Yeah.
So we know nothing about her. Right.
Oh, actually, I guess Magic doesn't have the leader star. I guess because the leadership's a card, right?
Okay, yeah. So maybe Mirage comes with a built-in leadership.
One on the card. That's cool. That's fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that apparently is happening effective October 30th.
Yeah. Nice. Can't wait for that box.
They're mentioning about a new affiliation, which we kind of knew about, called Onslaught. Onslaught's Grip, it's called, and that'll be effective on the 11th of September. Sentinels, they've just updated the document officially where it's Bastion, Nimrod, Omega Sentinel, and Prime Sentinel all now part of Sentinels. I think we knew that, but it wasn't officially in the document.
Yep.
Mighty Avengers. Hey, this is my favorite faction at the moment, and we're going to get Mirage too at the end of October.
Oh, cool. You got to buy that box now.
Yeah. So we don't know anything else more about it, so we're going to just carry on. Uncanny X-Men. Oh, no, I'm going to have to listen to this now. So, effective October 30th as well will be the addition of Havoc, Jubilee, and Multiple Man.
Yeah.
Is these all known? This was part of the roadmap, wasn't it?
Yeah. This is, it's pretty obvious. They're a bunch of mutants. That's where they belong.
Jubilee we know about because that got spoiled at Adepticon.
Yeah. Yeah, new threat. That's fun.
But nothing about the other two.
No, we know the Multiple Man has grunts.
Okay.
So my mind immediately went to, oh my god, what shenanigans can I do? Not much, because you can't target grunt characters with To Me, My X-Men. So no new shenanigans, but it's kind of cool. That is the first grunt character in X-Men. So I'm sure there's some kind of jank I can come up with. So watch this space.
Or new ways to be disappointed by the anti-mutant gang.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to rethink that anti-mutant gang sentiment after this update. We'll get to the errata, but yeah. Big deal.
Okay. Next one is X Factor. Brand new affiliation, right?
Hey, yeah.
It's going to have Havoc, Multiple Man, which, again, not available until the end of October. But then part of it will be Angel, Mystique, Quicksilver, and Sabretooth Apex Predator. Sorry.
Sabretooth.
Sabretooth. I feel like cool. Elmer Fudd there.
Have we ever seen an affiliation launch with 2 leaders?
Don't know. That's
pretty cool,
one for
right?
a pub quiz somewhere.
So Havoc and Multiple Man, 2 different leaders. So whole new affiliation, 2 leaderships. I'm assuming 2 different ways to play because Havoc is a big beamy boy, right? He's Scott Summers' brother. He just shoots beams all the time. And then Multiple Man is like an investigator. He's got a private investigation company. I can't wait for the lore of that episode, by the way. I've been prepping it for months.
Nice.
But yeah, I hope that's 2 very different ways to play the affiliation, which is really cool. Angel, I'd love to have a home for Angel, so I hope Angel works in there. Mystique's cool. Quicksilver's fantastic. So I'm happy. I'm happy with this.
Yeah, it's a brand new faction. And Onslaught is too. So there's 2. Lastly, an X-Force Mirage will be added to that roster as well.
Cool.
So this might be the card that character brings with it that
maybe
knocked
Mirage.
out pretty
Hey, Mirage does illusion stuff. So maybe giving everyone stealth, super stealth. Maybe there's something there. Maybe that's why that card's going.
Yeah. Iron Lad remains unaffiliated, just as a side note. I think we're waiting for some sort of affiliation. Somebody with lore knows about this, that he belongs to something else, but apparently that's not ready to be revealed yet.
He's a young Avenger, and we've seen some young Avengers get revealed, so safe bet to assume he's waiting for them to show up.
Gotcha. Okay. Phew. Good stuff. All right. Let us get into the character updates. What's our timestamp? How are we doing?
We are at half an hour.
Half an hour. All right. We're going to keep going then, yeah?
Let's do it.
Boom. So we're going to do things very contrarian. Jamie is an artist by his youth and by his profession. And so I said, let's not do what Dr. Norbert would do, which is go through everything pedantically. We're going to start from the bottom of the list. Bottom of the list so that we have a lot of energy for the characters at the end instead of at the beginning.
Yeah, screw the rules. This is the real punk rock because we think that all the other podcasts are going to go through alphabetical and they're going to be tired by the time they get to talking about War Machine. We're doing it the other way around.
That's right. We're doing it another way around. And we're going to start with Apocalypse, which is even more wild.
Hey, that doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense. And that's because we're artists. Damn it. We're not doctors.
We're in a flow state. We're in a flow state. This is jazz. This is Across the Bifrost is the jazz podcast of MCP.
Love it. Okay, so Apocalypse himself actually is not changed at all, except for maybe to get Peerless, I suppose. Maybe does he have it Peerless now?
I don't know. Maybe he had Peerless before. He felt peerless, right?
Yeah. And so there's nothing changed there. What has changed dramatically, though, is the various of the Horseman cards. There's quite a bit of changes there, and which, of course, will make him play differently because he was so intertwined with the Horseman as an affiliation. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So let's go through the easy ones. First of all, War. The ability on War was called Fury, which was the only one that could be done twice a turn by the Horseman. not by
Yes.
Apocalypse, but by the Horseman. So typically it was Magic doing 2 attacks with both boosted with Fury. It can only be done once per turn now.
Yeah, that's a huge nerf.
Yeah.
Magic would happily do that twice. Happily, and take out 5 threats with it. So that being once per turn, I play 50 games with Apocalypse. Well, actually, no, I play way more than that. I probably played 80 games with Apocalypse, and I find that Fury was just like almost guaranteed to kill the person I was hitting. Sometimes it'd whiff, and I was prone to like bad dice, but then I would just Fury again and probably get what I needed, you know? And then there's the leadership rerolls, which we'll get onto. So yeah, this was like, it was Baron Zemo level of like, I can guarantee this kill here. So yeah, this going to once per turn is absolutely fair.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. The next is another buff from on the Pestilence card. This is where you would do a range 2 area effect and give everybody special conditions. It costs you 3 power to do that now instead of 2. And I can tell you from experience that that's a pretty big nerf, because it was hard sometimes to gather up enough power in time to give somebody that to do it on round 1, which was the goal. Certainly Apocalypse as well, you know, gathering, because he could do it as well. Getting him the power to do it now is much harder. So I feel like there's just going to be less turn 1 shenanigans with this. Is that what your read on it is?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not just power generation, right? Because you can pay for all these powers with the Apocalypse tokens. So getting, you know, someone like Beast who starts the game with 1 power, you start the game with 1 token. So Beast doesn't have to do anything. He just double moves and Pestilence bombs you. So, and like round 1 shenanigans, you know, whatever. It's more about the timing of that, because if you do it at the end of round 1 and there's people grouped up, you give up 3 people conditions, then you can start round 2 by giving them a different condition and leaving. So it's like, it's kind of bookended, like bang, bang, you've got double condition now. You know, you're all slowed and rooted, which is so painful. So it's a little harder to do it now. You can still do it round 1. Oh no, maybe you can't. You can't actually, because there's another change coming. So yeah, it basically removes this from round 1. It's still one of the best Horseman abilities, because I found that after round 1, I always had the power / tokens to pay for this. So you're still going to be covered in conditions. This doesn't stop really that kind of game plan for Apocalypse, but it does reduce it from happening in round 1, which is nice.
Okay. We do have some good news, which I'm actually kind of pleased about, because it seemed oppressive before. But the Death card, this is where you would pay a certain amount of power, and in your next attack, you would add 1 die roll for each damage the defender had to a maximum of 3. So really could be very, you know,
it meant that Toad could kill people.
Yeah,
Toad could just pop up out of nowhere and be like, "Oh, you're hurt. I'm just going to hit you with like 7 dice."
Yeah, I've done it, and it was pretty epic, actually.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
So that used to cost 3, which made it really hard to actually pull off, honestly, especially with somebody like Toad. It only costs you 2 now.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just going to make this thing used more often, because Death was really kind of an endgame kind of like big.
Yeah, Death was like if it comes up, you know, and like Gambit was using it a lot, but like, you know, you kind of need things to line up a little bit. So I like this playing too. I actually think this is bringing the gap between War and Death closer.
100%.
Right? Because War was so much better, and Death was like, maybe. It kind of brings it in a little bit. So now War and Death are both kind of doing the same job, you know, similarly. So I like that a lot. I like the idea of the 2 of them on a flank as well, right? Because War only gets 1 shot. So War goes first, gets 1 attempt to do some damage, can't do it twice, and then maybe tease them up for a Death to come in and follow up, which feels very Apocalypse-y, you know?
Yeah. Okay, the last change about all this is actually the leadership card itself, which is the Master of the Horseman card. This one, it says, you gain an evolution token in the cleanup phase, whereas before it was in the power phase, and you can only spend evolution tokens to reroll defense dice. Used to be offense or defense dice.
Yeah. If throughout this section, Apocalypse was like on a tightrope, you know, between he's balancing over broken or, you know, like buffed or nerfed, this is the one that pushes him into the nerf side. This is the final nail in the coffin, I think. So yeah, you don't start the game with a token anymore, which means you now, if you want Apocalypse to famine hot round 1, which you do want to happen every single game, by the way, you now have to generate a token before that can happen. Right. And that's basically always going to be your famine token has to go. So yeah, you're just way more limited on, you know, you have to make that happen now. You don't get it for free.
Right. Okay.
And the offensive rerolls going is devastating for them.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole thing. Because it synergized so well with like Apocalypse himself has giant dice pools, so he can go, I'm going to hit you with like 12 dice spender, and if it whiffs, I've got 3 rerolls in the tank to make sure it doesn't whiff, or you can double up with Fury, right? If you whiff your Fury roll, you can use the offensive rerolls to try and get those triggers to make it even better. So they just had exponential impact, and you can't even do that at all now. So that's brutal. So Apocalypse teams can now whiff.
Yeah, exactly that. Does this change about when you get the token in the cleanup phase? Is that really just to deal with turn 1 shenanigans, or do you think it has a lasting impact throughout the game?
After round 1, it doesn't matter.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the engine's going, right? Because you're killing people, you're getting your war tokens, you're being a hit and getting a war token. Famine's doing his thing. So I think it's just stopped round 1 shenanigans now.
Okay, cool.
But you can still do it. You get Famine can basically guarantee a token, and then Apocalypse Famine Hop is online, so you can still Famine Hop move, punch someone round 1. But you're not also covering them in conditions, and then getting a bunch of tokens for round 2 to follow up. So it just evens everything out. I think that these changes they make Apocalypse a fair faction, but still very strong. They're still a very good faction, but they can just whiff their dice now. And in a world where everybody gets more health, they can't guarantee dazes and KOs anymore. So these are really good changes, I think. We're not going to see Apocalypse at the top of the meta anymore. I think he'll go down to a normal kind of 50% win rate, which
100%.
is good.
Yeah, exactly. He was just oppressive before,
Yeah, and I know a lot of people... Sorry, go on.
I don't think he's unplayable. It's just he's normal.
Definitely not. No, he hasn't had the Thanos treatment, which is what I was a little worried about, because it's such a well-designed affiliation. Some of their best work, AMG, is Apocalypse. I think he's now totally fair and balanced, and will feel strong, feel great, and he still plays like no one else. And it's great. And I know a lot of people that are interested in playing Apocalypse, but they didn't want the bad rep that comes with playing Apocalypse. Now's the time. Pick them up. They're very strong, very good. They're absolutely playable, and you won't feel bad, because some of your games will just go bad because you whiffed. So
cool. Okay, now we're going to get into the list. If you want to follow along, this is the transmission that AMG put out yesterday, so on the 10th of August. And we're starting with characters that have substantial changes, as I mentioned. And from the bottom of the list, So first one is Werewolf by Night. The stamina has changed. Maybe you can call up the cards. I don't have... I have it here, actually. Hang on. I could do it. I just need to find them.
Norbit is literally under a pile of cards right now.
I know. He
printed them all out. It's actually quite a boomer of you to have printed all these out, put them in a file of fax. We could have just used PDFs online, man.
Nah. When your computer dies, I'll still have my cards. Damn it. The stamina changed. So he currently now has 7 on the front and 8 on the back. I was going to ask you to take a look at the graph that I showed you, the spreadsheet I showed you, where it explains what the different changes are for the
character update. I got it. Here
for the hit points.
Cool.
So what was he before? Is my point. Do you know?
The health. Oh god.
Yeah, the health. Just the health. I have the rest of it. It's the health that I need you to find more room on my screen.
7-7.
7-7.
He was 7-7 before.
Cool. So he's got 1 more on the injured side. Also, his pounce goes from 2 power. When it used to be 3. And lastly, Midnight Massacre, which I'll read about in a moment, is 2 power down from 3. So Midnight Massacre was when, after an attack against a character is resolved, it can use a superpower. If the attacker is within 3, this character may make a savage slash attack, which is basically his builder, targeting the attacker, and it can only be used once per turn. So the clapback is much cheaper. And I think a lot more reasonable for a clapback. You know what I mean? That 3 was kind of harsh, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great clapback, though. Paying 2 to do a range 3 attack that can then also place you.
Yeah.
That's huge, right?
Yeah, it's a good attack. And it's 6 dice, but he is a 5 threat, so you'd expect that. But I mean, Drac, though, his clapback, I think, is 2, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So, and he was known for that. He's also 5 threat throw. So I think this just, people, when I played a long time ago now, Midnight Suns, I didn't like Werewolf by Night. Just didn't think he contributed very much. But with these power efficiencies now, maybe this is somebody to take another look at.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. It's interesting. He also, with the clapback, he gives them bleed. So you're attacking on their turn. So you're then putting them in a really awkward position, right? You're like, do you want to shake that now? Or you want to take a damage? So that attack basically guarantees a damage going through, right? Because of bleed, especially if there's second action. So you might catch people out with that. Yeah, I think it's great. And, the pounce change is because of the collision changes, right? So he only deals 3 damage when he pounces now. It was 4 before. So there's kind of, you'll see a theme of that in this update, is changing some of those costs down. But what you get from the pounce is he gets to move short, right? Throws himself short.
Yes, I was going to say that. And that's his problem, is he does have that leap on his builder, so I take that back. But it is a trigger, whereas pounce is guaranteed, provided you have the power.
Yeah, I think this character is great now.
I agree. And look, he's got healing factor 2. With 8 hit points on his injured side, this guy is sticking around.
That is huge. And instant recovery is a card that can be played on him. So you can really get this guy to stick around. Yeah, that is huge. I think we're going to see more werewolf.
Yeah, agreed. Exciting. And that's great stuff. Okay, next word that got changes is Wasp. Wasp can now hold asset objective tokens while small. So let's be clear, that means not civilians. It has to be the asset types.
Yes, that is very specific.
Yeah, I think it's more for thematic more than anything else, right?
Yeah, for sure.
She doesn't want to, she can't get she can hold things in the comics and make them small, but she can't hold people to make them small, I guess.
I guess that's what the idea is, yeah. So, yeah, she can now do that. And it opens up all kinds of shenanigans which are for bigger brains than us two. On a Tuesday morning. But it means, because similar to Ant-Man, right? There's a whole bunch of things you can do now because they can hold extracts while shrinking. So, pretty cool. Just remember, you have to learn what is a civilian and what is an asset.
Yes, right. And pick your crises appropriately.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Oh, this is going to be fun. War Machine. War Machine has had a couple of changes to his superpowers, and let me call them up. Here we are. Okay, the first one is Empty the Clip. Empty the Clip. Okay, so this is where it's a spender. It's range 3, 8 dice, costs 4. And now, when so you would roll and you get additional dice for each crit result during the attack roll. You would get 2 additional dice for each crit in the attack roll.
Your crits explode double.
Right. Now, in the past, though, for each crit he rolled, he would also take 1 damage, which could be wipe him out, frankly.
Yeah. If you get a lucky roll or an unlucky roll, I don't know how you want to judge that, but if you get too many crits, you could kill yourself.
Now it's been changed that if the roll contains any crit at all, so just 1 or more, doesn't matter, he gets flat 2 damage, which is a lot more manageable, meaning like you could plan for that, basically.
Yeah, for sure. You should go into this attack assuming you'll take 2 damage.
Yeah. Then he's got a new active superpower called Reload, which is exciting. It is 3 power, and basically it just removes 2 damage from him. It can only be used once per turn.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think he is a 3 threat. He still, I think, has the same hit points, which is 5 and 6, but you have this ability to kind of heal himself actively anyway. I don't know.
Yeah.
Does this make him
5/6 is new? He was 5/5.
Oh, okay. Okay,
so he has more health.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the theme here is that you empty the clip, just you hurt yourself doing it, and then you go right, reload, and heal up. That's really cool, right? But my stupid competitive MCP brain looks at this and goes, "That's a 5/6 character with healing factor 2, which is lizard levels because he has damage reduction."
Yes, he does have damage reduction on top of that. That's
right.
True.
So we've got lizard who's 6/5 and has damage reduction and healing factor 2. War Machine is 5/6 damage reduction and has to pay to heal, but still can. So pays 3 to heal 2. That's a big deal, I think, right? I know it's a boring take, but he's a very tanky character.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of his job, right? More or less.
I think thematically his job is to fire loads of rockets and blow people up. But I'm thinking he can grab an extract and run to the back of the board. But he's cool now. I hope we see him. I forget he exists.
Agreed. No one's used him, ever. Yeah. I mean, no one is a strong word. But I've never seen him on the table.
I actually don't think I've ever seen him on the table. I do want to shout out, though, here's a hot Across the Bifrost take, because we had some time with this stuff before it went live, so I've had some time to think about it. The Air Force is a tactics card that exists.
Okay.
Here we go. Sleeve or heave it. Quick, sleeve or heave it.
Sleeve it or heave it. Take it or leave it. Sleeve it or heave it. Can't you believe it?
All right. So the Air Force is an unaffiliated card. War Machine or Captain America may spend 3 to play this card. At the end of their activation, the active character's controller activates War Machine or Captain Marvel, whichever one did not play this card before their turn ends. It's follow me.
Whoa. Oh,
And Follow
wow.
Me was an old card that you could use to trick priority, and you
Yeah.
can double activate a character. Same as Husband and Wife in Black Order. So
Yeah.
if you played now War Machine's on the table, I know not many people play Captain Marvel either, but maybe you will after this update. Play the two of them, they can double activate together so that you squash yourself and then hope to keep priority. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Wow. Thanks for that call out. That's amazing.
Sleeve it or heave it.
We were remiss. Wasp also had a hit point update. She went from 5/5 to 6/6. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, got the 3-threat treatment.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, should we say that? Gosh, I'm sorry to jump around on people, but I thought it was an interesting part of their transmission where they talked about what their targets are for hit points now. Did you read this?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Hold on. So, where is it? Yeah, here it is. So they have standards now for total stamina for injured and healthy sides together. So this is all the hit points together as one number. 2 threats, the target is 8 stamina. So like a 4 and 4, for instance.
Oh, yeah, 4/4, 5/3, right? Because I think is Honey Badger that? Anyway,
I'm thinking Rocket. Is Rocket like that? Anyway.
It's 3. That doesn't matter. Yeah. Target is around 8. Yeah.
8. 3 threats are now 12 target. 4 threats are 14. 5 threats are 15. And then 1 stamina for each threat value thereafter. So 6 threat would be 16, 7 would be 17, and 8 would be 18.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool to know.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? I didn't really realize that they would hold themselves to that kind of...
Well, they're not saying that that's how it is, right? They're saying that's the kind of the bar.
Yeah, that's the bar. Yeah. I didn't realize it was so structured, though.
Yeah, I mean, it gives them a curve, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're looking at a health curve. And then you have outliers to that, right? So like a 3-threat at 12 stamina, Lizard is at 11 stamina, right? And so is War Machine. But because they have damage reduction and healing, it's okay that they're at 11 stamina. So yeah, it's kind of a bar to sort of set the standards by. Yeah.
Yeah. And whereas Wasp, we just said, was 6/6, and she has none of that kind of stuff. So she's at that bar, which is 12 stamina.
Yeah,
okay.
For sure.
Wild, huh? So much to unpack here. It's crazy. Okay, back to the list. Boop, boop, boo. Where are we? Oh my goodness, this is a long list. Okay. Viper. Another exciting card to look at. Oh, man. She was the butt of so many jokes, Viper, and who's laughing now? So she's had stamina changes. She's currently 6/6. Can you tell us what she used to be?
Oh, probably 5/5, if I had to guess.
Yeah, that's your job.
Viper.
You have one job.
5/5. Yeah.
Really? She was, oh God, 5/5. Yeah. All right. So she's up 1 on each side, 6/6. She's a 3-threat, so that's right on the bar. But importantly, she's had all of her special rules on her attacks reworked, and I've written them all down. Let me find her. I did this late last night. What's her name? Viper. There we are. Okay, so Viper. The poison blade, that attack, now has the poison being an automatic. It's applied automatically instead of having a trigger. And she's also had the elusive trigger added. So elusive is where if she rolls a wild, she can advance short. Okay?
Yeah.
Then the assassin's pistol, which is her next attack, just has the pursuit trigger added to it. Whereas before it didn't have that at all, which is where she rolls a hit, she can then move towards the defender short. And then her spender, which is called Viper Strike, if the defender has poison, then Viper can re-roll up to 2 of its attacks. 2 attack dice.
Similar to what we've seen with Drax. When they have bleed, he can re-roll 2.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, excellent. So let's review. So her 2 zero-cost attacks both have the possibility of allowing her to move short, sometimes any direction she wants, sometimes towards the defender. And then the Viper Strike, which is her spender, hits harder, basically, because she can, if they have poison, which she can apply to them, she can reroll up to 2 of the attack dice.
Yeah, pretty cool. I keep trying to get people to play the little poison train. Like Abomination gives out poison. Omega Red, who gets some love this update, gives out poison. Warlock has got extra health, it gives out poison. Viper now guarantees giving out poison from range 2.
Yep.
There's some poison stuff going on, guys. Can someone play it? I think Viper's Hydra affiliated as well. Let me double check that. But yeah,
Okay.
there's some cool poison stuff going on. She is Hydra affiliated. So come on now, Hydra poison build. Let's go.
She's got she's a long mover. She's got stealth. She can place herself within 2.
That's Black Cat.
Yeah.
She's as fast as Black Cat.
Yep. And then she's got that thing is where if she's targeted by an attack, she can use a superpower for 2 power, and she gets extra defense dice. And then if she doesn't suffer any damage from the attacker suffers 2 damage automatically. So some defense tech.
Yeah.
I see this being very helpful. So what affiliations is she in? Did you
Cabal and Hydra.
Cabal and Hydra, yeah. Totally worth looking at now.
Definitely.
With her ability to move around.
It's a new character to the game, right? This is what I love about this errata. We saw it with Hawkeye. Hawkeye didn't exist and then got extra health and is now everywhere. And this is so many characters that can be applied to. I'm going to say that 50 times through these episodes, but like Viper, is that just a new character?
Yeah, 5/5. That seems unreasonable. This is way better.
6/6, whole new kit, great stuff, great synergies with other characters. Like definitely worth in a Hydra list. Don't know if we'll see him splash, but if you're doing the poison stuff, you should think about it. Yeah, Viper is basically a new character that's been added, and everyone should go check her out.
All right, cool. Next one up is Ursa Major. Please look up his hit points because I'm sure that's a big deal for him. He is now 8/8, so 16, and he's a 4th threat.
8? He was 7/7.
Yeah, so he's 8/8. Okay,
that's
cool.
Huge.
A lot of hit points. Now, he was all about soaking up damage, so this is helpful in a big way. It's still along like the lines of what his character was designed to do. His physical defense goes up from 3 to 4 as well. Everything else stays the same.
Nice. Very, very tanky boy.
Yeah, very tanky boy. Hit points was never really considered a really good way of defense. Like, people thought that you could chew through it too quickly. But I don't know. Defense going up to 4 as well is good.
Yeah, it's kind of like Sentinel's treatment, right? Sentinels had like 10 and 9 health or whatever, and they still got dazed and KO'd quite easily. But what it is, it's not a form of defense in that regard, but it does stop you being one shot.
Oh yeah,
health that big, right? You're really unlikely to be one shot when you're an 8 health character. So if you want Ursa Major to survive, just bring sacrifice. They hit you once, then they go to do the follow up. You sacrifice it, he's guaranteed to survive. So it's it helps in that way.
Good patch up target as well.
Oh, huge patch up target, yeah.
Soak up all the 5 damage that you want on there.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, oh boy, controversial time. Thor 2? Yeah, Thor 2. Thor, Hero of Midgard.
He's back.
Voldemort's
back.
Oh gosh. Can you see if he had a hit point change? I don't think so. It's 9/8 currently.
He was 9/8. Yeah, not many of the higher threat characters got changed. There's a handful. So he stays 9/8.
Okay. First thing is they've moved his builder back up to range 3. It was range 3 at first, then they nerfed it down to 2, which when I played him in France, I remember playing him in Paris with you, remember? I tried to make him work, and that range 2 really was a problem, even with the other changes really being enough of a nerf. So he goes back to range 3, which makes a big difference because he's got a medium base, so he can move forward and hit things on the mid-Rhine very easily, which is kind of fun.
And that builder as well, by the way, is one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
It's incredible. The triggers are incredible. Yeah, Lightning Arc is so good, and he can push you any direction, short. Mm-hmm. Sizeless. It's so good. Yeah, it's an incredible builder. So that going to range 3 is a huge deal.
And Have At Thee, which I'll explain in a moment, goes from 4 power down to 3. Have At Thee is where he can throw himself medium. He doesn't suffer damage from collision or terrain with characters or terrain.
So that's been reduced because he now deals 3 damage, which breaks my heart because I used to love that I could throw Thor for Thor damage. I pay 4 to throw Thor to deal 4. Now that doesn't work. You pay 3 to throw 4 to deal 3. But it's still a medium move for him, which is the most important part.
Yeah, it's a medium move. Exactly that. Also, even though he gets 2 power at the start of the turn, it's still out of reach unless he gets power some other way. So it's not like he can do turn 1 shenanigans without help, at least. Where he could throw himself straight away and do 2 attacks into somebody on the midline. That won't be the case. Sure.
I don't know the measurements. I don't think it's enough. But Valkyrie and Elendil can move him round 1 because they start with 2 power and they can do needle lift. I don't think that gets him close enough to do a 3. Play him on scrolls though. Imagine failing a scroll roll in front of Valkyrie and Elendil and Thor 2. You're just going to get eaten up. So yeah, it's cool. I'm glad he's back.
I agree.
I don't think he's as scary as before because don't forget, the pounce now does less damage. His terrain throw does less damage. So overall, he's just rolling those builders a bit more often, which is scary. So I think he feels kind of fair at the moment for a 6th threat.
Well, yeah, exactly. He's still going to be scary, but he's a 6th threat. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
exactly. You should be. Okay, the next one I need your help on. The next one is the Immortal Hulk. All he's had changed is that he has Peerless added. Can you help me understand? Peerless, by the way, is in the rulebook now. Is Peerless that you can't field 2 Peerless people on the table, or is it you can't have 2 Peerless or more in your roster at all?
It's on the table.
On the table. Okay.
Yeah.
So people are saying Peerless is like been spread out quite a lot in this update. Yeah. And so the big thing about it is it kind of lets you not have 2 kaijus on the table at the same time. So I suppose what we need to think about when we see this is like, does this really matter? You know, some of them, I think they just don't want lots of splashes to be thrown together. But like, I want to see for the affiliation itself, does it hurt the affiliation? So in this one, this is, I think he's only in Midnight Suns. Does this really hurt them?
I don't think so. I think that competitively, for the most part, you're never playing 2 huge models. I mean, I don't know. Basically, I think gone are the days where you go 3 wide, right? Where you take like Hulk, I don't know, Dormammu and Malekith or whatever. Like, I don't think the game really works that way anymore. Like in terms of points, I think you just lose. Now it definitely doesn't work that way because Peerless makes that impossible. So I'm a little concerned about how much that's been spread around. Mostly because they did put it on a mutant in this update, which we'll get to. But yeah, I mean, they're just really hammering home that we don't want this kaiju meta, right? We don't want 3, 4 wide with giant monsters. So you now play 1 Peerless model with a bunch of like 3 and 4 threats, which I think is fine.
Can you quickly check the affiliation list in Jarvis for Midnight Suns, just to double check if there's any other kaijus in that roster? I don't think so, but...
No, yeah, I'm looking now. No, it's... No. I mean, Ghost Rider, no.
All right, keep that open because we need to look at the next character called Supergiant, who's had stamina changes. So Supergiant now is a malign character. Everyone used to make fun of her. I really hope she's good now. Let's take a look. She is currently 6'6" on hit points. What is she?
She was 5'5".
Oh, yeah. She's a 3 threat, so she's back up to standard. 6'6" is 12. But let's see. She's had a lot of other changes. I'm thinking of somebody else. This speed has changed from medium. She's gone from short movement to medium movement.
Yes.
So she's a small base, I presume, right?
Yes. There are no more short base medium moves in the game.
No, short base short moves.
Sorry, short base. That's what I meant. Yeah. So everyone's a medium move if you have a small base now or more. So that applies to Crossbones and another guy who we'll get to later because it's a bit more worth talking about. But so she is a little bit more mobile now. Yeah.
Is this what's going to fix her? I don't know.
This is a weird character that everybody wishes they wanted to play because they got such weird effects. And like, there's the whole thing, right? The crit, wild, hit, skull. Is that still the trigger on that?
Yes, correct. Well done.
Yeah. To just KO someone. Which is hilarious on 8 dice. So yeah, I don't know. A fun character. I think that she's probably super close to being broken, but she's just so weird and no one's really figured it out yet. So yeah, I don't know. I could see why AMG might be a little resistant to kind of look into this character more than that. But being a medium move is cool, means you can play them and not feel too punished now. So yeah, I'd love to see this character on the table at some point.
Is she strictly Black Order?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. I mean, Black Order, it's got a couple of buffs. I know people aren't super happy, but that's because they're probably looking at them as in the same old ways before, and they don't do that anymore.
Oh yeah, it's a whole new day for Black Order.
Yeah, I think people need to put some time into thinking about them differently and seeing if some of this other stuff works. But clearly, don't keep trying to play them the way they used to be. It's not going to work. Yeah. You're going to be just disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, with Black Order, I'm not too familiar with them, but like with Black Order, they now have an affiliated 2 threat, and the Corvus leadership affects all allied characters. So that's just opened up a massive window for you to splash someone. So what's Black Order missing? Are they missing like a charger, like a 4 threat, like fast charger? Now you can bring in Moondragon with the gem, or you can bring in Archangel. You can splash those characters easier because you have an affiliate 2 threat. So I think that whatever you feel like you're missing, it's worth revisiting for Black Order because it's wide open for them now.
I agree. All right, that brings us to about an hour. So let us call this one. Until next time, cheers and happy gaming.